And highlight stuff. I'm a mess.
Hello, and welcome to Gloves Off with David Singer. I have a special guest today, Debbie Spiegelman.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Do you go by Deborah or Debbie, just out of curiosity?
I'll answer to both.
Any of them? Okay. She is the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director of the Miami Children's Museum. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. This should be fun. So before we start, I'm going to read a little bit about...
It might be boring.
That's okay.
Okay.
Nobody gets bored on this program. Deborah Spiegelman is CEO and Executive Director of the Miami Children's Museum. She is an accomplished non-for-profit specialist with over 35 years of experience. She provides leadership to the museum core staff and reports to the board of directors. She's involved with long-range planning, development, and creation and implementation of exhibits and educational programs, in addition to having raised $25 million for the building of the Miami Children's Museum in 2003. Ms. Spiegelman is now leading the master's planning process and renovation expansion of the museum, which includes renovation of its galleries and development of the museum's new entrance, as well as the new learning facilities.
Yes.
Does that about sum it up?
That sums it up.
That sums
it. Just to update the bio they sent, we finished the renovation of the exhibits, and we are really excited about reopening to the public. We've been closed for 13 months today. And we're ready to be back and have kids in the hallways yelling again.
So it's really interesting because I actually got on a website and I pulled a whole bunch of facts and figures out. But let's talk about, first thing, let's talk about, I would assume that you've been closed because of COVID.
We closed on March 13th. We were the first cultural institution to close, and we will be the last to reopen. But we're ready. We feel we can do it safely and the right way. We've had kids back at our schools, and we're ready for the families to come back.
So let's talk about when you guys opened.
When we opened.
When you opened, you were there when you guys opened?
2003.
2003. So you've been there for 17, 18 years.
I've been with the museum 29 years.
29 years. So that
Yikes.
was even goes back to when it was in West Kendall?
At 10. We were located at the Bakery Center.
The Bakery Center. Okay.
And looking for a new facility, I came on, I joined the team to raise money. And we went through several different site changes over the years. And in 2000, we were awarded the property on Watson Island. The city of Miami felt it would be a very good location in conjunction with what's now called Jungle Island, creating a destination.
Which used to be Right. It wasn't Pinecrest. It's now Pinecrest Gardens. Yeah, Parajungle, Pinecrest Gardens. So in 2003, it was 56,000 square feet?
56,500 square feet.
And you guys are enlarging it or have enlarged it already?
We have, part of it was left as shell space, so we could determine what the best use would be. And we were able to open a charter school within the museum. So we have 300 plus children who come to school every day in the museum. So that was a completion of space. And we also have classrooms. So we have up to 100 children that come to their preschool at the museum.
So I read that there's only 2 museums in the United States that have charter schools.
Yes.
And you have one of them.
We have the only one right now. The other charter school based in the museum was out in Portland, Oregon. And unfortunately, they have not been in a position to reopen. And my understanding is that the school is not opening either.
So the charter school right now, the museum's not open, but the charter school is, and the
Correct.
daycare is?
Yes.
So
no, it's not daycare.
Oh, it's not daycare. It's pre.
Right. We provide education for kids. We don't like to think of it as daycare because we have very engaging teachers and they work with the children, and we have a lot of different curriculum and programming that takes place. Kids aren't just left.
Okay, so your mission statement says Miami Children's Museum is dedicated to enriching the lives of all children by fostering a love and learning through play and enabling children to realize their highest potential.
That's it.
That is the mission. That's been the mission since
way back
1983.
and
it hasn't changed.
Right.
So while you were closed, you had the charter school and running. And how necessarily did COVID affect the running of the charter school?
Well, the charter school is a separate entity, and they have done a fabulous job making sure that the children were safe. We started out the charter school reopening with about 50% of the children coming to class and 50% learning virtually. And being in a small school, I think gave families an opportunity to have a little bit of a different experience. The children were able to get the materials and the kits and learn that way. And over the year, can't believe it's been a year, the kids came back on campus, I think, in September. And over the period from September to now, more children have come back to the classroom setting. And they've been able to spend some time in the exhibits very carefully. But what the museum was able to do while we were closed is we created a digital platform called Museum at Home. And we have a very talented theater troupe. I'd like to take credit for what happened, but I can't. And our theater troupe started interactive programming, everything from story time to art activities to science programs. So we were giving families an opportunity to still experience the museum.
Interesting. So, by the way, I neglected to tell everybody where the Children's Museum is. So if you want to tell them where it is, it's off MacArthur.
It's off the MacArthur Causeway.
And I think, besides the Science Museum, I think you guys might have been the second or third museum that's actually in Miami, because when I grew up, there really weren't any other museums besides the Science Museum.
Science Museum, you're right.
If you think about it, now since we've become an international city, we have more
arts and culture city. It's wonderful how many cultural facilities there are.
So there was one museum that didn't last very long that was on Key Biscayne. I don't know if you were familiar with that. Now it's a charter school. It was on Key Biscayne.
Oh, it was the oceanographic.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a
long time ago. That was when I was in
now it's
junior high school or high
Academy.
school. Yeah. It was actually, I remember sticking my hands in the ice and having
it's right across from Seaquarium.
Exactly where it was. So how else were you affected by COVID-19 besides fundraising, of course?
Fundraising programming. Last February, I think you were even at our gala. We had the last gala. It was on February 29th. Fabulous, fun, great night. Whoever thought that within 2 weeks our country would be going through what we've experienced over the past year. But fortunately, our board of directors was incredible. They kicked into high gear with fundraising, and we had just come off of a very, very successful gala. And we've been able to sustain ourselves, and it's tough. It's tough.
But keep employees, let employees go. I mean, did you try to keep as many employees?
We were able to keep a great number of our employees. And what's really exciting is that we're now seeing our seasonal employees, as we're getting ready to open, come back and join our team again. We have a lot of great young, energetic people that have
they're
worked
definitely
with us,
energetic.
and they're coming back.
They're definitely energetic.
They're coming back.
And I got to tell you, I go to a lot of fundraisers, but your annual fundraiser is probably the most fun.
Thank you.
Of any of them I've been to.
Not sure when we'll be able to go back to that level of a gala, but hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. Well, if everybody gets their shots.
Right. Everyone needs to get their shots.
Everybody needs to get your shots. So how did you find that location for the museum after being at the Bakery Center? Which, if anybody doesn't know, the Bakery Center used to be in South Miami, off US 1 and Sunset Drive.
Right. We went through a number of different public meetings. We met with our stakeholders, and the city of Miami, I remember the morning very well. Commissioner Willie Gort recommended, why don't you all go to Watson Island? We can work with you on that. And we've been very fortunate. We have a great relationship with the city of Miami, in addition to having a wonderful partnership with Miami-Dade County. So we were able to build a great museum. We had a designer that really worked well with us. If you haven't been to the Children's Museum,
can we pop up a picture of the Children's Museum? Because it's really a phenomenal looking building. You can't miss it if you go. There you go.
It's bright. It's colorful.
It's very bright, pretty much right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I love the design of it.
I wish we had some pictures of what goes on inside, because that's where the real magic is. There's children's museums around the country, and I hope that many of my colleagues are able to reopen. Right now, about 58 or 60% of the children's museums have reopened. It's tough because, we are an optional family activity, but I think as people are getting vaccinated and as more research is coming out, because the first research said, COVID could be contaminated and, surfaces. And I think as more research is coming out, we're learning more about how people can catch the virus. So, people don't need to worry about coming into the Children's Museum and the interactive nature. So I think we've evolved quite a bit. We've followed the CDC guidelines very carefully. We followed Miami-Dade County protocol very carefully. And it's a good time for us.
I'm curious, how many tourists do you get in the Children's Museum for people coming into Miami?
Well, our visitorship was about 450,000, and about a quarter of it, 27%, was tourists. So you're pretty well known then, I would assume, out of the county. Out of the county we are, and there's a great network of children's museums, and people with young children oftentimes will go to a city and seek a children's museum, or have done their research and plan a vacation around, what activities there are in the community.
Interesting. So through play,
having fun.
Is that really the basis of learning through play, education through play?
Education through play is children being engaged with objects, basically, and being able to experience. It's very easy to say, David, this is paper, and try and explain what paper is. But if I say, David, this is a piece of paper, and you can do so many things with it. You can make a paper airplane, or you can make a boat, or you can crumple it up into a ball. So that's part of play. Or when
it's a really hands-on experience.
Hands-on experiences. And when you think about, how did you learn to count, and how did you first do math? Probably an abacus.
Oh, maybe. It definitely wasn't a computer.
Right. It
might have been an abacus if you think about it, because I remember.
Right. Remember those little beads?
Little, yeah.
So you were learning through play. It probably wasn't a theory that was spoken about at that time, but giving children experiential learning and inspiring them, teaching a child about weights on a scale, where you have a heavy piece and a light piece, and then, it teeter-totters back and forth, and you can explain to a child which piece is heavier. I'm taking it down to really simple levels, but
that's good, especially with me.
That's what our curriculum is built on, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's in the exhibit galleries. And it also provides an opportunity for each child, regardless of their age, to learn at their own pace. So the learning in the museum exhibits varies at the age, and children learn through repetition and building and, different things.
So do you have slots available now for the charter school and the pre-K?
Actually, we are full.
You're completely full.
We are completely full for next school year.
And previously it's been completely full. And where do you grab those kids from? Where do they come from?
Being part of the charter school system, the charter school goes through a lottery system. And we have children whose families work in downtown Miami, who live on Miami Beach, who live in Overtown right over the causeway. So it's a very diverse and dynamic school population.
And it goes to what grades?
Our charter school goes kindergarten through fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then where do they usually go to? Just regular public school or private school?
Public school or private school. There's a mix of kids who go to all of the schools. Some go back to their neighborhood. Other children have gone to Gulliver, to Ransom, to Berry Charter. I'm trying to think of the graduating class from 2 years ago because we didn't have a formal graduation last year.
No, it's terrible, isn't it?
I know. I feel bad.
I don't know if you know this, but I have a 13-year-old that's basically been locked in the house for a year. And yesterday was probably the first physical activity. Well, he's played basketball in my driveway, but now he's playing a little flag football. So it's so nice to see them. Nice
to see
without the Xbox. And
I wonder what the kids are going to do when they don't have to be on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the interaction for me with children, it seems to be so important, and they just haven't had it.
Right.
And
I think so much of what children today are going to experience has to do with the social and emotional learning that they've missed out on. The opportunity to talk to people face to face, to communicate, to share. When you think about all of the early lessons of playing in the sandbox, kids haven't had to share. They've had their computer, they've had their work, they've worked solo. There haven't been group projects per se. It's been a whole different experience. And we've seen a lot firsthand at our partner schools as well.
It's interesting. Yeah, I think parents, the same thing with parents, though. I mean, not as much as with kids, but parents, there's really been no interaction for 9 months to a year with adults. And I think
we've all been on Zoom all day.
Yeah. Some more than others.
Right.
So your grand reopening.
Yes.
Do you have anything special planned?
We have a lot of special things. We have a wonderful partner. Bills and Sunberg has come on board with us to sponsor our opening weekend. That's the good news. And the wonderful news is that we will be honoring our healthcare heroes. Mm-hmm. So the opening weekend is really limited to those that have provided such a necessary part of what we've needed to get through COVID. So we will be welcoming our families who have one or two parents in the healthcare field, as well as our very loyal members. But then our real public opening with tickets going on sale in advance will be on May 8th and 9th, which is very exciting. We are opening with super limited attendance to give families a safe experience. And we're also doing timed play sessions. So families will be able to buy their tickets or get their tickets online in advance for a session 10 to 12, 1 to 3, or 4 to 6. And those hours in between will give our team the opportunity to go through and sanitize the museum and make it look like 9 o'clock in the morning, so everybody has a great new experience when they come in.
Masks, I would assume, are required?
Masks are required. We have 37 sanitizing stations throughout the museum. We haven't named them yet, but our clean team, everyone.
That's a name. The clean team
will be right.
That's a good name, right? I like that. Clean team.
Clean team. I'll log that in. Even me, everyone from the museum will be out on the floor, making sure that families are staying socially distanced. Our museum is set up with a lot of little alcoves and caveats, and we're hoping that families will follow the social distancing and stay to themselves and then move on to the next activity.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've been there before and there's just so much interaction. It's not like going to a zoo, right? Because you're not going to sit there and play with a lion, although I might play with a lion, but normal people wouldn't play with a lion. So it's really, it's not a ride. It's not like Disney World, but it gives you gives children a lot of things to do while they're there.
There's probably 100 different exhibit components.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure 2 hours is enough. So what do you like? Clear the house and then bring them back in?
We'll clear the house and bring in a new group.
Yeah. So how do people buy tickets?
We're doing touchless entry. Our goal is that people will go online to our website and pre-purchase tickets. It's not open yet. It's not operational. We wanted to wait and, give families enough time, but not too much time. And if someone can't attend because they're sick, we will allow them the opportunity to reschedule. And of course, our members will have a special allotment of tickets. And
okay, so let's talk about this annual membership.
Annual membership.
Okay, is how much? And
we had our membership, I think. You're asking me tough questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think our
That's why they call it gloves off with David Singer.
I think our membership is $150 a family, which gives a family unlimited access to the museum as well as our partner museums around the country. And all of our members who had purchased memberships were extending their membership for the year. But we are asking those that are able to make a donation so we can provide entry and memberships to those families that can't afford.
Is that a family? Is that a family membership?
It is.
So whether you have one child or seven,
I think we limit it to two or three children and
two or three
adults.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess that works, right? I don't think there are too many people that have seven anymore. So what have you done to the actual museum to change the experience?
Well,
because you have had some downtime, right?
Right. We've had a lot of downtime. All of our exhibits, we had just completed the master plan and the exhibit renovation process right before we closed. As a matter of fact, we had just renovated the auditorium, and it was Dr. Seuss's birthday, which we celebrated the day that we closed. So families will come back in. Everything looks very clean. Very neat. We have lots of extra props because we will be changing them out in between sessions, sanitizing. There's always new things to do at the museum. We have a great glass lab where children and families can make a piece of glass, get a piece of glass, and through positive and negative space, create their own design using stickers. And then it goes in a sandblasting machine. So that's something that a lot of families haven't experienced. We have our art gallery. We have, do you remember the movie The Big?
Big?
Yep. Tom Hanks
dancing
Tom Hanks,
on the
absolutely.
Piano. The piano.
We have the piano for people to come and dance on. We also
just one?
Just one. Big floor piano. But we also have the largest musical staircase in the world, we're told, by the artist who created it for us, Remo Saracini. So you can come dance your way up to the second floor.
Do you guys have shows? It's interactive, but do you actually have shows there with your staff? We
have a great theater team that has been producing all of our online materials, and there will be a lot of story times and interactivity with them in the galleries, of course, being safe. Our theater team will be wearing masks, all of our staff will be wearing masks, and all of our guests will be wearing masks.
So when you were closed, what was the outreach like to the community when you guys, because of COVID?
Right. Well, we did some pivoting. We decided we wanted to provide as much as we could to the community. So through our sponsors, we created a number of different drive-through events. Everything from
drive-through,
come to the museum, and it was touchless, open your trunk, and we will put an activity box. We just did one last Saturday celebrating Autism Awareness Month. So we created sensory boxes and promoted it through our partnerships in the community where children have autism or other learning limitations. And we created activity boxes, no fee, and parents and families drove through and they could pick those up. For Halloween, we did, because we always have a fabulous Halloween event, so our theater troupe was dressed up. We were all outside, so kids could come trick-or-treating at the museum. We created the largest traffic jam in Miami that day. And
no way.
no way. On MacArthur Causeway.
I've driven on 95. You can't beat 95 for traffic jams.
Well, think back to October. There wasn't a lot of traffic.
Oh, there was no.
So,
it's starting to pick up, though.
It sure is. It sure is.
I mean,
Traffic is back.
People are getting out and about. That's a positive.
And we've had a great partnership with Farm Share. We have distributed 50,000 pounds of food to families. We have had a food distribution, and being the Miami Children's Museum, we always added something special. For New Year's Eve, for example, we always did a fabulous New Year's Eve party where we would have a lot of people in the museum, probably close to 2,000, which is our capacity limit. And we would have the ball drop.
Adults and children?
Adults and children. So this year we knew we couldn't do it safely, and we wanted to put our resources into serving as many people as we could, particularly those that were challenged in having food, and we wanted people to have a safe New Year's. So we created kits with everything you need for a wonderful New Year's Eve party. Farm Share provided a box with 25 pounds of food, so families stopped there, and then we created kits with, New Year's Eve hats and fun things, and one of our partners, Hasbro, provided great games for families. So every family got it.
Oh, a game. Like a game.
A board game.
A board game. Okay.
What else could you do New Year's Eve? So we had board games. We had go to bed early.
I go to bed early, but I have been caught once or twice drinking on New Year's. Just once or twice.
This was drink free.
Yeah.
drink free. And we were encouraging people to stay home and not be out partying.
Yeah, I think I pretty much stayed home. I did not go out.
Did you play a game?
It's a weird. Did I play a game?
Yeah.
No.
Did you have a board game?
No board games.
See what you missed out on?
Yeah, I know. I could have gone by and picked up the board. Do you outreach to public schools? Are you interactive with like public schools?
We have partner schools where through the Children's Trust, we have had after school programming for, many years now, probably close to 10 or 12, where we provide the after school programming consistent with the school curriculum. We provide homework assistance, snacks for the children, and enrichment, whether it's physical activity. And
at the individual schools?
At the individual schools. Mm-hmm. We're up in Liberty City. And it's been a wonderful partnership with those schools. As a matter of fact, for winter camp and then for our spring break camp, we brought children from our partner schools back to the museum and gave them a really fun activity. In the past, one of our revenue centers has been fee-based camps, and we wanted to do something extra and special, and we had a wonderful funding partner that provided the resources to do that.
Yeah, but people don't know, and I went on your website, so I've looked at some of this stuff. You do parties, you do party rentals, you do events, you do preschool, and I have a whole, I mean, I gotta tell you something, they have one of the best websites I've ever seen around. It's very, very educational if you want to go in there. Yeah.
I'm afraid of what you're
it's all kinds of stuff. It's all kinds of stuff. It's your exhibits. There's a lot of exhibits, but it does, active learning, classroom arrangements, daily routine, preschool curriculum, assessments. You have 1-day camps, you have spring camps, you have summer camps, you have winter camps, which is pretty amazing. So you want to talk about any of those and how you register?
Everything is through our website. Right now, we will be having summer camp starting June 7th. I spoke a little bit about our opening plan. We will be open weekends through the month of May. And then on June 7th, we will start being open 7 days a week. So giving families more opportunities to come. And we will be running our summer camp, of course, with smaller classrooms and smaller groups. Because again, the safety is our first priority.
So how have your camps done historically?
They're full.
They're all full.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to sign up a month in advance or 2 months in advance. What I thought was interesting
is and around the world with camp?
No, my 13-year-old son would love this because he loves cooking besides sports. You guys have a cooking camp or a cooking school there.
Well, what we do is this summer we'll be visiting various places around the world. Each week is themed to a different country. So we try to give the kids a fully immersive experience, whether it's the costumes, the geography, the language, the food of the country. In the past, if we were studying about Greece, we would take the children to a Greek restaurant. Yeah. This year,
Mykonos,
right.
Santorini.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
I was supposed to go there last summer.
Oh.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I got to tell you, I've been to Greece. You have to rebook your. It was great.
A couple years.
Yeah, it was really nice
out there. So,
but
summer camp registration will open, I think, next week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're running, I think, 8 or 10 weeks of summer camp.
So do they sign up usually for a week at a time, or is it a 4-week term?
We have families that will sign up for 1 week, and we have families that will let their children experience the whole summer with us. We're flexible as far as that goes. It's a week-by-week registration, and I believe this summer we're offering some discounts for early registration. One thing that we aren't going to do this year, which we've kind of spoiled the community with, is walk-in registration. So that's going to be a big difference. We need people to pre-register because we really want to maintain small class sizes, and we will be smaller than the CDC recommendations.
So CDC, I think, is recommending 75%, around that 75% of your class size. So what are you guys?
We're going to keep our class size to 12 to 15, depending upon the age of the child.
And what is it typically?
We'll have up to 20.
Okay,
children.
so it's about 60%.
Right.
So that's a significant difference.
Yes, it is.
With the same amount of counselors, I would assume.
Maybe even more.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, because we want to make sure that the children are following. Kids are great with the masks. They really
probably better. Listen,
I think kids are far better
probably than adults
parents.
Because I got to tell you something. You got all those Karens out there.
Right. So
are you going to commence
drop off?
Yeah.
Well, drop off.
Okay.
We limit the number of people that are coming into the building, and it's been terrific. The kids have separated from their parents very easily in the car. Everybody will have their temperature taken before they come into the building, from our staff members to every child that's coming in. We'll do that outside, both for our camps and for our ticketed visitors.
It's interesting. I had to go to a doctor the other day, and they said colds and flus are really down this year because everybody's wearing wearing masks, right? So
allergies too, I heard.
Not mine. So you're also doing birthday parties, and you do corporate and family events.
Corporate and family events
will come later, right?
Going to come later. Birthday parties we will begin doing, but of course, instead of having 20 children at a party, we're asking our guests to be limited to 10 in a room.
So
social distancing and the masks
is very important.
Exactly.
But so a typical birthday party, right?
Yes.
What would you, somebody wants to book a birthday party. What do they get? What does
Okay.
that entail?
A birthday party, you will speak to our birthday party coordinator.
Mhm. Am I
Yeah,
getting into
you're
the
doing
minutia?
really
I'm
good.
getting into the minutia.
You're getting into minutia, and anything I say, I cannot be held responsible
Possible.
for if I give the wrong
That's
information.
okay.
We have a great team that can
Yeah.
answer your questions better than me. Birthday parties will be limited to 10 children, and you can select a theme. You come and you arrive in your classroom, and it's decorated to the theme. We have birthday party hostesses, so mom, dad, family members can really relax and enjoy the party. We take care of it for you. Children have an art activity, and then they have the opportunity to explore the museum gallery. The food component is a little bit up in the air. We're trying to figure out how we can best do that safely. Everything from a child blowing out candles on a birthday cake. Can't do that anymore. And we're trying to be touchless. So we're thinking perhaps cupcakes, and ideally we would be able to do the cake part outside.
So historically, how have birthday parties done?
We have an on-site Subway restaurant.
Yeah.
So you would order your food from Subway, and usually it's giant sub sandwiches for families. And so it involves eating, the art activity, visiting the galleries, and then coming back for cake.
Do you have a cooking facility on site?
We have a portable cooking cart. Are you talking about for our cooking demonstrations?
Yeah, cooking demonstrations, or I said,
you
cooking
should
school.
go to Museum at Home if you want some good cooking lessons. We've got some great things up there.
I'm good.
Okay. So we have the cooking cart for cooking demonstrations, but with COVID, I'm not sure that we're going to launch right into the cooking cart right away. We'll keep that as one of our online programs, and we're taking baby steps. I said to one of our board members today, I think reopening is more of a challenge than when we opened.
That's interesting.
A lot more rules.
A lot of rules.
A lot of compliance.
Hopefully will fade away in a
lot of safety.
Yeah. So and corporate events that you're not doing now, but you've done historically
have been great.
How did that work?
Fabulous. You could rent the entire museum for a team building, for a corporate event. We work with some of our preferred caterers. We assist you in making the party happen.
That's interesting.
Adults can have fun too.
Yes, as soon as COVID goes away, adults will have fun. So tell me about your fundraising efforts in the coming up, and how you're going to kind of like fill in that gap of what you've missed, and how far away you are off your target for what you want to raise.
We have been very fortunate, and thank you to all of our generous sponsors and to our donors who have understood how important children are during this time and how valuable the museum's programming is. So we're doing okay in our fundraising. We also have been fortunate to get the PPP money and funding. And
those forms were great, weren't they?
I don't know which was harder, filling out the application or getting the forgiveness. But we were very fortunate and had a great financial partner in doing so both times. So the PPP has been a wonderful help and is allowing us to bring back our staff so we're able to open. Reopening may present some additional financial challenges because we're not staffing any less than if we were to have 1,000 people or 1,500 people a day, but our capacity will be limited to 600 people. So
you have lines around the block.
We'll have lines around. No, you're going to pre-buy your ticket. You're going to come on time. We're going to scan you. We're going to get you in as quickly as we can so you can enjoy your time in the museum.
So what's next for the museum?
What's next for the museum? We have a very exciting outdoor exhibit area that will be opening in time for, I hope, July 4th. We had hoped to have everything in place to coincide with our opening, but due to some material challenges, it won't be. We are under construction. We are creating a covered walkway, which is something the community has wanted. There's a long walk from the drop-off or the parking lot to our front door. So we're putting in a covered walkway. We have a fabulous water fountain that is interactive, that's going in for children to experience and create music with. We have an entire garden that's called Harmony Park, which consists of several different musical installations, primarily percussion for children. And we have a new picnic seated area that will all be ready in time for the real heat of the summer.
Oh, that's just great. And the rain. And the rain, right?
No, this is the rainy month. Where were you last Sunday?
That's a good question. Where was I last Sunday? Was I inside the house because it was raining outside?
There were storms. I think even in Palmetto Bay.
Oh, Palmetto Bay, definitely storms. It rains in Palmetto Bay all the time, every single day. So have you been getting funding from the county or the city of Miami?
The county, we have a great partnership with the city of Miami, although right now it doesn't include direct financial support. They've supported different projects for us.
Do I need to hit up some commissioners for you?
Would you please? We're hoping to be involved in the second tranche of funding for the Miami Forever Bond program, which will allow us to create a new entry building. The elements that are shown in our current building are earth, wind, fire, and water. So what element would we go to next? I'm going to throw a question at you.
I don't know. Earth, wind, fire, water. Those are the four elements, right?
Right. But what's next? What's there a lot of talk about?
Space.
Got it.
There.
Did you read that?
No, actually, I didn't read that. It was a wild guess.
So,
because I'm not that smart.
Our entry building will be focused on space. We have a fabulous design that includes all of the planets in the floor.
That's
so
great.
The galaxy.
Pluto or no Pluto?
I think Pluto is still there. Should we take it out?
I don't know. I always thought that Pluto was a planet, so I had a really big issue with them taking Pluto out of the solar system.
History is changing.
They did not check with me anyway.
They didn't ask me either. But I think we'll maybe put Pluto
back.
And then the main wall in the gallery will be the different galaxies, and children will be able to create galaxy designs, the Big Dipper, and identify different configurations while they're looking at the floor. And then we have an interactive art exhibit that will be installed. And all of this provides the opportunity for more exhibits, a new entryway, and then an opportunity to expand some of the exhibits in the main museum galleries.
So are you planning on having the fundraiser this year in February? Am I going to be getting a phone call?
The jury's out.
The jury?
But we hope so.
Oh, no, you have to have. Do you
play golf?
No, you have to have.
You missed it. We have a golf tournament.
Oh, right. You
Sunday.
have to have that fundraiser. It's really a fabulous fundraiser.
If we can do it safely.
In February?
You can be sure we will. We're following the science.
So what's on the horizon, the wish list for the museum?
Families to come back, to have a great time, to be safe, to not decide to take their masks off, to follow the protocol and still have a great time.
Do you really think that families would come in and take their masks off?
I've learned from some of my colleagues that not everybody is following the rules or feels comfortable following the rules. Masks aren't always comfortable. We all know that. But I think it's something we have to
You could be like the
follow.
airline. You could be like the airlines.
Right.
Mask or out.
That's what our signage is going to stay.
Yeah.
We have to.
Well, you have to because it's important.
Right. It's
Very
important. We're not making the rules. We're just following them and hope we don't have to enforce them.
Okay. And if anybody wants to make a donation,
Call me. Go online.
website donations.
Website donations.
Website. They're always looking for
MiamiChildren'sMuseum.org.
donations.
Donate now.
Donations.
Donate now.
Okay. So to sum it up.
Yes. What's your favorite exhibit at the museum?
Oh, that's a good question. What was there? I know I had a couple of them. I think a silent auction was my favorite exhibit at the museum.
And watch our website, because we have a silent auction opening, I believe, tomorrow.
Oh, see, you wait. I have to bring that up.
I'm accused of being a fundraiser all the time.
But that's okay. That's why you're here. You're here to talk about the museum, and you're here to fundraise.
Become a member. Support our membership program if your kids are too young. Buy a gift membership for someone else. We have a VIP program, which is very important potential, where we want every child and every family to have the opportunity to visit the Children's Museum. So we have scholarships available. We have free family
scholarships
nights
available
for our camp programs.
For your camp. Come on, you got to plug.
I know.
Terrible.
I'm not a good fundraiser today. I'm trying to be low key. Support a child going to summer camp. Buy a child a birthday party. Give to our general operating fund. Help us out. Even provide a scholarship for a child to attend our Early Childhood Institute.
So is there there's an annual pass? Is there a special annual VIP pass that you guys sell?
We have a benefactor membership.
Oh, see?
And with that, with your benefactor
so
membership, you can own a piece of the museum and have a wonderful engraved tile for your family's name.
I'm trying to think. Were there engraved tiles outside?
Yes.
Yes, there are, right?
We have tiles outside, and then we have super benefactor tiles going up the staircase.
Interesting.
So
I remember
if
the ones
you want to
outside.
make a $5,000 donation, David, come on, let's get this going. If David Singer makes a donation today, who wants to match it? Let's see it in the chat.
I think Michael Miller and Grant Miller owe me. They'll be happy to match any donation I make.
So
anyway, so thank you very much for coming.
You.
Did we cover everything you wanted to cover? Is there more information you'd like to put out there?
We're excited to see the kids come back. We're excited to see families. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, anytime. I'm very interested to actually come out there, since you've done some renovation work. I know that COVID was a little hindrance, but at least you got some renovation work, done, and
we got the renovation. We're clean. We're tip top. And we've done fabulous programming. There's an entire library, probably of 110 videos that you can find through our website, Museum at Home. Enjoy them with your families. And
I'm telling you, anybody who has not been on their website, it's a really spectacular website.
Thank you.
Anyway, that is it for today. We thank everybody for tuning in. Spread the word. Make sure you guys sign up to either go to summer camp or quickly buy your tickets early, because I'm sure there will be a waiting list until we get over this COVID hump.
Right.
So thanks, everybody. Stay healthy and stay safe. And good night. And thanks again for coming by.
Thank you.
Stay
safe.